You're watching Chicago's very own WGN News.
We think of it as a schoolyard problem, but workplace bullying can be a huge issue for some people. A therapist joins us to help find the signs and ways to prevent it.
Well, we all have people at work who annoy us or get under our skin, but the annoyances can sometimes rise to the level of bullying.
So how do you know when certain mistreatment just becomes too much? Joyce Marter can tell. She's a psychotherapist and the CEO of Urban Balance, which is a counseling practice with more than 70 therapists in 7 locations throughout Chicagoland. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
Thank you for having me.
So there's a lot of people that we don't like that we work with, you know, but what's the difference between annoying and bullying? Define the difference when you know this is a severe problem.
Well, bullying is repeated health-harming mistreatment of one or more persons, so the targets, by one or more perpetrators. So it can be one bully or it can be a clique. We thought that high school was over, but it's mean girls all over again in the workplace.
When you say bullying is not illegal, harassment is, what's the distinction?
So yes, harassment is a federal offense. It's illegal, and it's unwelcome behaviors that have to do with sex, religion, color, race, and those are protected parts that we cannot, we can't behave in that way in the workplace. So bullying, sometimes it can be covert. So it can be, glaring at people or disincluding them. It's really mean behaviors in the workplace.
So what do you do? I mean, do you go tattle to your boss and say, this person's rolling their eyes at me? You sound crazy.
Right, exactly.
Right?
So I always say that assertive behavior is somewhere between diva and doormat. So the diva is somebody who's kind of entitled and disrespectful of other people's boundaries. So you don't want to be a diva and be all dramatic and ridiculous about it, but you also don't want to be a doormat and let people walk over you. So you want to find your voice and you want to say, you know what, this isn't okay, this isn't cool. And you want to try to resolve it directly with the person by using appropriate diplomatic language that shows respect for yourself and the other person.
But that's not rocket science. Why? I mean, you would think people would know that, and yet why don't they? Or why are they hesitant to do that, to confront the bully with the language that you're saying?
Well, sometimes they feel like their jobs are at stake, or it's intimidating or stressful if you have a boss who's yelling at you or verbally abusive and calling you a moron or an idiot. You're afraid that if you stand up, you might lose your job. And again, sometimes with these cliques, people will say things like, our buddy Steve is going for the promotion and we don't want you to go for it. And so you feel intimidated and controlled by a group of people. And so as counselors or therapists, we'll coach people to say, you know what, that's great that Steve's going for the promotion, but really I'd like to put my name in the hat as well.
If it's someone at work and not your boss that's doing the bullying, is it worth it to go to your boss, or is there a way to do that where you don't look like you're a tattletale and everyone's gonna be like, oh, she went to the boss on me? You know what I mean? Or do you do that through HR? What's the best way to do that?
It is important to do that, to advocate for yourself, and you can decide if going to your boss or going to HR or going to your employee assistance program is the best route to go. And just presenting the facts in a diplomatic way. Hey, this is what's going on. I'm really not comfortable with it. Employers should care about having a healthy workplace and having a productive, happy work environment. It costs them money to have bullies in the workplace.
And here's the prevention techniques that you're all talking about. How important is it to get this bullying documented?
Documentation can be important if you're going to take it to the next step, to really show the employer this is what's happening in a factual, objective, measurable way, and to show them that it costs them dollars in absenteeism and low productivity.
I don't think anybody's walking around saying, yeah, I'm a bully. Right?
Yeah,
I mean, I think
they
act a certain way and they don't realize, what are they trying to accomplish, or why are they that way?
Well, I think we're all kind of shaped and molded by our families of origin, and we repeat those roles in our group dynamics at work. Obviously, I'm a therapist, but recently our company coached some people who work in a municipality. And so these are guys in the field, firefighters, people in public works, and they're saying, hey, this is just how we talk to each other, but it's really not okay. And so we need to teach people how to be professional.
Are we too overly sensitive to? A lot of people be like, we throw that word around a lot when it's really just good-natured kidding. But you know what I mean? There's a difference when when you're really upset about something, there's that fine line that I wonder if people know the difference, you know?
Sometimes people don't know the difference, and that's why it's a good idea sometimes to have an in-service at your workplace to coach people on what's right and what's not okay. And yeah, sometimes people are just having fun, but if it's repeated and it's humiliating and it's causing the person to get headaches or stomach aches or stressed out, then it's not okay.
We don't need to say names. We all know who we're talking about. You can find out more at workplacebullying.com, and you can find Joyce at her website at urbanbalance.com.
Thanks, Joyce.
Thanks,
Nice to
Joyce.
meet
Thank you.